Deadpool, a fan-favorite character among comic book lovers, has a lot of unexpected layers. The complexity of his anti-hero means almost anyone can connect with him on some level, even if he's a little rough around the edges. Many fans like the character for his sharp mouth and his habit of breaking the fourth wall to talk to the audience. But there is much more to the costumed crime fighter, also known as Wade Wilson. Even though he's a newer character, only dating back to 1991, Deadpool has made his way into the hearts of millions and, with a Ryan Reynolds-starring movie on the way, is shaping up to be a comic book character that will remain in our psyche for decades to come. Welcome to Movies Out Now, and here is a list of 10 facts you didn't know about Deadpool. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button for more videos daily. Number 10. X-Men Origins Deadpool. Deadpool's origins aren't as clearly defined as some of the more well-known superheroes, partially due to his mental instability, which makes him an unreliable narrator. What we do know is that his life began as a child in a dysfunctional family. In some versions of the story, his father abandoned him and his mother when he was very young. This led his mother down a spiral of alcoholism, but she would rely on humor to get her through the day, which gave Wade Wilson his trademark sharp wit.
30 seconds before ninjas stole my mama! Nick Fury saw my awesome, took me in, suckling me under the sweet...
In another origin, we see that Deadpool's father was abusive and his mother died of cancer. We may never know his true early life due to his brain constantly regenerating, but we do know that he traveled around the world, honing his skills as a mercenary. Later, he volunteered for the Weapon X program in hopes to cure his cancer, since if it were successful, the experiment would give him Wolverine's healing powers. The experiment went off the rails, deforming his face and giving him a copious amount of mental problems, but it did leave him with a regenerative healing ability. Also, during the Weapon X program, the guards would bet on who would survive and who would die during the experiments. All the bets were against Wade Wilson, but he came out on top, hence the name Deadpool. Number 9. You're probably wondering why the red suit. The red suit isn't just so bad guys won't see him bleed, but is actually inspired by the web slinger himself, Spider-Man. Though Deadpool was conceptualized as a character easy to draw so that the artist would make deadlines quicker, his creators were also inspired by Spider-Man's costume. Later on, this inspiration was translated into the comics by having Deadpool admire Spider-Man and even constantly trying to win him over as his best friend.
Whoa, don't break that! That's a collector's item!
On top of this, Wade Wilson was also highly inspired by the DC character Slade Wilson, also known as a Teen Titans adversary, Deathstroke. Both men are mercenaries, are physically enhanced, have an affinity for battle, use swords, and have a huge arsenal of guns. Deadpool's suit isn't the only thing directly inspired by other characters. Luckily, Deadpool stands out on his own as a character despite all of these inspirations. Number 8. You are killing Deadpool. Most people know Deadpool for constantly breaking the fourth wall and talking directly to the readers or even the writers and illustrators. These breaks are often hilarious and act as great pop culture references. Unfortunately, there is a darker undertone to these moments.
I mean, that's why I brought her?
Oh no, finish your tweet.
That's fine. Just give us a second.
Go get her, Tiger.
With the self-awareness of knowing he is nothing more than a character in a comic book and at the dispense of the writers, Deadpool has been seen as discouraged and pained by his existence. In fact, there have been several times in which Deadpool has addressed the existence of the fourth wall as something emotionally crushing. As we see in Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe and Deadpool Roasts the Marvel Universe, Wade is unbelievably depressed by the weight of knowing that he exists only as a means of entertainment for all of us. Number 7. The Merc with a Conscience. Deadpool is an anti-hero to the core, but in his heart, he's a good guy. Most of the time. While he has killed hundreds of people and constantly torments those closest to him, Deadpool has shown great compassion in brief, intimate moments. He has even been seen donating his organs and sacrificing his body for others. One of Deadpool's most memorable moments comes when he rescues Evan, a clone of the villain Apocalypse, from his creators, and informs him that he is more than just a clone destined for evil, that he has a choice to be his own man. Later, after Evan enrolled at the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning, Deadpool paid his new favorite pal a visit. In this moment, Evan thanks Deadpool for being the hero who helped him when he needed it the most. Number 6. Deadpool the Married Man. At one point in the comics, Deadpool gets married. His bride was kept a secret for several issues, but was later revealed to be Shikla, the Queen of the Undead. Deadpool created a massive spectacle for his ceremony that saw almost the entire Marvel Universe assembled. While the wedding as a whole may sound like a positive event in the messed up life of our favorite Merc, the wedding was actually just another mess that Deadpool has gotten himself into. The wedding wasn't even initially planned as this larger-than-life event either, until Marvel was able to gather all the previous writers and artists for Deadpool who wrote and drew the recurring side characters from their time in the comic, helping the wedding become the event it was. Number 5. Deadpool Will Survive. As if being a merc with a mouth wasn't enough, Deadpool arguably has the strongest healing factor in all of the Marvel Universe. Given the power thanks to the experiments of the Weapon X program, Deadpool's healing factor is so incredible that it has allowed him to survive otherwise fatal injuries dozens of times.
That's true. Am I crazy? Or is your hand really small?
About the size of a KFC spork.
Knowing that he is virtually invincible, Deadpool has often sacrificed his body for others' safety, sparing others the pain of certain death. Deadpool has been shown to survive some of the harshest physically damaging events known, and yet he comes out alive. Among other things, Deadpool has survived a nuclear bomb, decapitation, and dismemberment. Even further, he himself donates his own organs on a regular basis because they grow back so quickly. The largest downside to his healing factor is what else it repairs in his own body. Suffering from horrible cancer during his involvement in the Weapon X program, Wade Wilson's cancer cells are given the same regenerative abilities as his normal cells. This is why Deadpool is always hideous. There have been certain versions that change this up, but almost always, Deadpool looks as though he is knocking on death's door. Number 4. Ryan Reynolds Connection. Obviously, we are all tremendously excited to see Ryan Reynolds' reformed version of the Merc with a Mouth in this February's Deadpool. Angry with how the character was handled in X-Men Origins Wolverine, in which he also played the character, Ryan Reynolds spent years campaigning for a proper version of Deadpool to be brought to life. However, his connection with the character goes beyond just playing him on screen. Deadpool in the comics has actually referenced Ryan Reynolds, saying that he himself looks like a cross between the actor and a Shar-Pei.
Okay. People are dead.
Ryan Reynolds' intense affinity for the character is enough to get any of us excited, but the similarities between the two make us excited to see Ryan Reynolds really become Wade Wilson. Number 3. The Deadpool Posse. Almost every superhero with their own comic book has a group of friends and sidekicks that they work with. Deadpool is no different in this regard. Wade Wilson has several close confidants that have become recurring characters in his solo adventures. Unlike many other characters, Deadpool's sporadic emotions make the relationships with his friends much more strenuous than the usual superhero teamwork that happens in comics. The closest confidant of Deadpool is Blind Al, an old woman living at Deadpool's house as a sort of prisoner. While she's being kept hostage, she acts as a mother figure to Deadpool and feels as if she can redeem herself if she can set Wade Wilson on the path to redemption himself.
Saturn right now. But I appreciate the gesture.
Am I crazy?
Next we have Weasel, one of Deadpool's closest friends. He's an arms dealer and information broker who has helped Wade on many adventures. Deadpool has obviously made more friends than that over the years, but Blind Al and Weasel are his closest two confidants. Number 2. Deadpool's Body Sliding. While Deadpool's healing factor is amazing, one of his most out-of-place powers is known as body sliding. Body sliding is basically teleportation, using a device that Cable, whose relationship to Deadpool we will explore shortly, developed himself. Unfortunately, during Deadpool's adventures with the time-traveling Cable, their DNA became mixed up, so whenever one would teleport, the other would teleport to the exact same location as well, making their bodies morph together. This fusing during teleportation would actually change Wade's appearance and make him temporarily handsome, rather than the usual Freddy Krueger-esque appearance. Cable eventually fixed the device and was able to body slide each one of them individually, so that the other wasn't pulled out to the location at any moment. Number 1. Deadpool and Cable. Cable gets his own spot on this list because he and Deadpool have developed a unique and strange relationship. Cable and Deadpool not only have their own comic series together, but have crossed paths many times in other comics. They may be at odds sometimes, but the two have a lasting friendship. Cable has often gone out of his way to try and convince Wade of doing good rather than killing for money. Both have fought each other, but in the end, they will always be pals. Cable is a straight man to Deadpool's comedic insanity, and it results in a hilarious dynamic. These two will forever go down as one of the greatest comic duos for their insane adventures and unique banter. What is your favorite fact from this list? Let us know in the comment below, and don't forget to subscribe.